Spencer Brown rated 51 overall by Pro Football Focus, and we compare him to a player the Buffalo Bills are now rumored to be interested in. Brandon Shell was rated 64.9 overall by Pro Football Focus. So last year's play, although Brandon Shell had 85 less snaps, he played a little bit better than Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown had 6 penalties. He gave up 4 sacks. Brandon Shell had 4 penalties, and he only gave up 2 sacks. So it's clear the Buffalo Bills and Brandon Beane are definitely looking at free agents still, but I think the philosophy here going forward is that the Buffalo Bills are going to enter this NFL draft to see what we come out of after the NFL draft, and if we have any of these holes, that we're going to address it via free agency. So we're staying in contact with guys like Brandon Shell and another player like Poona Ford. This guy is defensive tackle, 5'11", 310 pounds. I've been talking about it for weeks. Rookie coming out, Siaki Ika. He is absolutely dynamic here, 6'3", 335 pounds. Similar skill set to Poona Ford. So it's clear Buffalo Bills are looking to bring in competition to right tackle to Spencer Brown. They're looking to bring in another defensive tackle to this team, and we can draw some conclusions, right? Brandon Shell. When looking at him compared to Spencer Brown, we could say that Spencer Brown is a little bit more athletic. He's taller. I think he's a little bit quicker, but he doesn't have the experience of a Brandon Shell. He doesn't have maybe the technique with his hands of Brandon Shell. So I think the Buffalo Bills are definitely bringing in some tough competition here to Spencer Brown, whether that is Brandon Shell or a rookie in this year's NFL draft. And my top rookie for the Buffalo Bills, and could be the 27th overall pick, is Dawand Jones. This guy is absolutely huge for Ohio State. He's 6'8", 370 pounds, truly a dancing bear, would be a mammoth, would be a total mammoth on the outside, totally balled out at the Reese Senior Bowl. I think he would be great competition for the Bills. So when you look at it, right, why would Dawand Jones be a good fit for the Buffalo Bills? And it's proof by looking at Brandon Shell. The Bills are maybe looking to get a little bit bigger, less athletic, more powerful for maybe running the ball, right? So the Bills are not shying away from that, and I think a guy like Dawand Jones could definitely be a great fit for the Buffalo Bills at 27th overall. The other player I already mentioned here, rookie Siaki Ika from Baylor, defensive tackle, playing next to Ed Oliver, complete opposite skill set of Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver, that speedy defensive tackle, right, could rush in there and get to the quarterback. Fastest way to the quarterback is between the center and the guard. But what do you got to have next to Ed Oliver? Think exact opposite type player, power rusher, a mammoth dude that needs 2 guys on him to hold him up, that could just bull rush and get right through. Matching that next to Ed Oliver is absolutely huge. We saw it a little bit last year with Jordan Phillips, with Daquan Jones, but I want a dynamic player next to that. And Poona Ford could be it if the Buffalo Bills miss out on a defensive tackle in this year's NFL draft. But we got to take a look. And I think the other hole here is clearly linebacker. I've been discussing it here, and I flipped the script here. Trenton Simpson is definitely my number 1 guy for Bills Mafia now. The reason why I dropped Drew Sanders below Trenton Simpson is because of his missed tackle rate. Drew Sanders actually has the highest missed tackle rate out of all rookie linebackers coming out in this year's NFL draft. Now, I like him. He's 6'5", 230, does great in coverage, and 9.5 sacks and all these things. But Trenton Simpson, I'm sold. And growing up, watching Carolina, watching Sean McDermott, Luke Kuechly, I think that's absolutely huge. Plus, Baylon Spector played at Clemson, had to translate his game from Clemson to the Buffalo Bills. Trenton Simpson at Clemson, what a perfect way to have Baylon Spector there to help him learn the ropes quick to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, the other hole that not a lot of people are talking about right now is protecting Josh Allen. Josh Allen was walking wounded at the end of the season. We saw it as bloody freaking elbows. There's no reason for us to be putting Josh Allen in that situation. So it makes sense that the holes on this team are definitely tackle, protecting Josh Allen. Spencer Brown was a liability last year, and there's excuses for Spencer Brown is that he had offseason back surgery before the season started, and then at week 7, he hurt his ankle against the Kansas City Chiefs and was seen in a walking boot after the game. So he really was not himself last year, Spencer Brown, but that had an impact on the hits to Josh Allen, our franchise, our quarterback, the best player on this team in the NFL. We cannot allow Josh Allen to get hit. The other ways that we could protect Josh Allen is a tight end, being that they are an extension of the offensive line. Another running back, a bigger, punch-you-in-the-face type running back. We wanted that from Zach Moss, but he wasn't big enough. Only a 5'9" frame, 220 pounds. A player that the Bills should be considering here in the draft is even Bijan Robinson. If he's there at 27th overall, that would be crazy. But his teammate, Roschon Johnson, he's 6 foot, 230 pounds. He's got room to grow, get bigger. He's being compared to Derrick Henry. He's a big type back, and the Buffalo Bills are going to use this big back sparingly. How much of a snap count is this big back actually going to get into Buffalo? So to spend money on a free agent, I don't know if that makes a lot of sense when it's just really for short yardage situations, goal line type situations, right? I don't know if we're going to really utilize them as the number one back. Now, the other thing here to lessen the blow on Josh Allen, instead of having Josh Allen quarterback sneak it, hand it to this big running back, right? But the other way to lessen the blow, and we kind of already addressed this via free agency, Deontay Hardy, right? The Cole Beasley types, Isaiah McKenzie types in the slot, solidifying that. So Josh Allen doesn't have to hold on to the ball very long. We need wide receivers to create separation fast so Josh Allen can get the ball and he can throw it out and get it to the wide receivers. So there's two players in this draft that are worthy. I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is worthy of the 27th overall pick for the Buffalo Bills if he is there. He didn't really run the fastest 40 time. Got hurt last year because of his hamstring, so he could very well slip and fall in this year's NFL draft. But the other player I really like is Tank Dell, wide receiver. Went against Sauce Gardner of the New York Jets and absolutely destroyed him in college. So Sauce is going to be nervous going against Tank Dell if he's a Buffalo Bill, that's for sure. And Tank Dell, he's smaller, he's shifty, he's just like Hardy. Hardy's here in a very favorable contract, so if we land a player like Jackson Smith-Njigba or Tank Dell, Hardy could really focus more on punt returns and focus more on being that deep threat type offensive player for Bills Mafia. I really think we got to take a look at all of these players. There are clearly some definite remaining holes for Bills Mafia going forward, but I think the plan now for Brandon Beane is to go into this NFL draft, see what players that we could draft, see what players that we want, potentially trade up too. Trade up for DeJuan Jones and Trenton Simpson in the first. I think that would be a huge move for the Buffalo Bills going forward. I think first step, NFL draft, and then whatever we don't get, we're going back to these free agents like Brandon Shell, Poona Ford, right? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd really, really appreciate it if you hit like, subscribe for future content. I'm going to be heading to Florida any day now, so the background and things are going to change a little bit. But still bringing you Bills Mafia, Bills news every single day. Go Bills. Peace.